Welcome to the Wickshire Project. There's a few things you should know about rainwater systems. How are you going to use it? What are you going to do with it? How do you collect it? How do you store it? So the biggest problem with rainwater is what can you use that is non-toxic? Now, a generic basic build for the cheap is going to be those vinyl gutters. You see them at Lowe's and Home Depot. That's your cheapest option for collecting rainwater. This is a perfect thing if you're going to use it for the garden, shower, and wash dishes. What if you wanted to drink? What if you wanted this rainwater for being potable? Well, first off, you shouldn't live in a city where all the pollutants and acidic rain. Some place like this is ideal, where your nearest neighbor is football stadium away. Being out in the woods is a great option. The other thing, wherever you collect from, make sure that the trees aren't within 25 feet of the collection area, or else you're going to constantly be cleaning the leaves. You'll be cleaning all the branches off of it. Where there are trees, there are birds, and there's bird droppings. We've used those big blue poly drums, the food grade style ones. Those work fine. They seem to be very cheap. You can also use the ICB totes, which are, I think, 175, 300, 315, somewhere in there. Those work great. They got the metal cage on them. The problem with those is they're white. Most of them are not so opaque, and what happens is you'll grow algae in there, and that can be toxic to a person or just really unhealthy to drink. You're gonna have to tarp it over, or you're gonna have to paint it. If you live in a colder climate, the darker the color you paint it, the warmer it's gonna stay as they collect the thermal heat. Fittings, yeah. We would love to use stainless steel fittings and stainless steel piping. You know, surgical steel. It's not gonna happen. A generic rainwater system that's used for the garden consists of, PVC pipes, vinyl, and that's just for watering outside and not for consumption. But if you did want potable water, you would do aluminum roof. You see them on the sheds, right? And all those off-grid cabins, they've got blue, green, red. Perfectly fine for collecting rainwater from, but you're still going to have to use a filtration system if you want it for potable water to drink. What we suggest is using aluminum gutters, aluminum spouting that runs all the way down. Silicone tubing works. PEX piping is excellent for this. Going to do brass fittings. I think they're safe. A basic filter is a 10 micron paper cartridge. That's your first step. You should always have that to protect everything that's going to come into the house. If it's going to go potable and you're using all the aluminum and the PEX piping and the food grade poly drums, the next step you're going to want after that paper cartridge is going to be a ceramic cartridge, and then an activated charcoal canister. So triple filtration. The fourth one is UV. It's optional. If you've got power off grid that you can afford to go UV, and a system that will only turn on once you're using the water, that works. So we were doing some research on rainwater and trying to figure out, what's good to use, what's bad to use, and what our purpose was and why we would pick such items. If you want to drink it, you have to be smart with that. You don't want leaching. So how do you keep it from freezing up in a cold climate? There's multiple ways of doing that. You could have an outside shed, keep your containers built, your system built in there, and some form of insulation and some heat tape and a 12-volt battery and a little solar panel. That'll basically keep your 20, 30 watt heat tape running. That works. All your lines should have insulation on them. So make sure you insulate all your lines. If you can bury them, even better. If you're in Alaska, good luck to you. Those lines are going to be buried below the frost line. 6 feet, it's way down there. We're in North America, so from Maine all the way down to Florida. Maine, you're going to bury your lines at least 3 to 4 feet. And as you come down to, say, Tennessee, where we are, under a foot of groundworks. Roof styles that I would not want to take potable drinkable water from would be cedar, any type of wood that might contain oils. Yeah, skip out on shingled roofs with all the oil and chemicals, and yeah, not good. But again, you got your corrugated metal, which seems to be fine, and then you've got your wood style roofs such as cedar and the chemical roofs such as shingles, stay away from that stuff if you decide to drink that water. How do we pressurize the system? Well, once you get those barrels at least to the floor and higher, anywhere in there, it's going to be a lot easier if you're off-grid to have like a 12 volt, 24, 36, 48 volt, and 96 volt, whatever. The higher the voltage, the more efficient your system is, obviously. And the smaller gauge wire you can use, or the safer it is to use smaller gauge wire. I don't like 12 volt systems. That might be the only option for some people, is having a 12 volt system. The other question, is rainwater safe to drink? Can you drink from it? Well, yes and no. Do you live in a city where it's acidic, has all the chemical pollutants? Or do you live out in the boondocks, completely away from society? So the further out in the way you are, the better off you're going to be for potable water. What should rainwater test at? Probably on a pH scale between 6 and 7. It's usually on the slightly acidic side. You're getting rainwater that's slightly alkaline, let me know. Any test kit, you can use any digital pH test kit. So I hope this was a little more comprehensive if you're just wondering about rainwater, its purposes, what you can do with it. I hope this helps some of you guys out. If you had questions, ask them down below. Feel free to pick my brain in case I missed anything. If you like said content in this video, hit that like button. Give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe, notification bell, and please leave a comment. We appreciate that. Yep, here come the bloopers. On today's episode, I thought I'd talk a little bit rain gutters. There's my daughter up there. Here, look at her. Shut the window. Punk, messing with me while I'm doing this. Blowing my train of thought, Again, a generic rainwater systems that's used for the garden, don't quote me on that. Stuff crawling to me. That's why you don't move off grid. Hold on a second. Yeah. Every video, right? Every video something's got to bother me. It's the ticks. And the mosquitoes in the morning, and the mosquitoes in the afternoon. But the ticks, these ticks, those ticks. Hot top, those, I forget what those are called. Shingles. Potable, I'm saying potato. That's run through my head.